to my series about talking about being a sports card dealer, volume 7 now. I have some smaller lots to discuss today. I had 5 sales since our last video. I have 1 PC item that may or may not be semi-related to one of the lots I bought. And I have some packaging with some tappity tap taps that I will get to in the end, and I will stop talking. So let's dive in to the first lot. This first one is, if I can grab it, Amen Thompson. I know what you're thinking. What? Don't you only talk about NFL cards? Yes, but sometimes I dabble in NBA and MLB as well. I typically just don't have a lot of time to learn about some of the parallels and sets and everything that goes with it, since there's so many now. So I typically just stick to NFL for the most part, just because that's where I have the most experience. Nonetheless, we have Amen Thompson here. So I got 20 cards for about $20. I have 3 of these Phoenix lasers. I like the lasers, they always look nice. I have a reactive blue rookie mosaic, also a nice looking one. The NBA Hoops City Edition silver refractor, nice little shine there. I have Elevate green from Mosaic. Thunder Road, I have a few of these Thunder Road greens as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Will they stop? 5 Thunder Road greens. But not to get out of Thunder Roads, we got some silvers of the Thunder Roads. We got 1 silver. 2 silvers. Those are pretty nice inserts. I do like the look of those. We have a classic blue cracked ice as well. We have an anti-gravity. The man knows how to soar. Rookie card from NBA Hoops. And then we just have a blue retail from Select. An optic base rookie card. Another Select blue retail. They have different levels to them. So this one is the concourse level. So it's all rookie cards, but different images. Then we have the Select. Is this the Thunder Lane? Yeah, the Thunder Lane rookie card. Cool little image there. Then we have the silver of the Thunder Lane. You can always tell if it's a parallel in these ones. If it says Prism on the back, you know you got a parallel. But again, I don't follow the NBA, at least cards-wise. I do watch a decent amount of the basketball games themselves. I do know that Amen Thompson is a rising player in the league. Some consider him the best athlete in the NBA, which is obviously no small feat in a league full of crazy athletic guys. Even his own teammate Kevin Durant hasn't called him dumb or terrible at this point, so that's gotta mean something. Put down the phone, KD. Put down the phone. Actually, keep the burners up and running for our entertainment. I do enjoyment. That was pretty funny. You could tell that KD was a little shook during the All-Star weekend when the news came out that his burner was getting exposed, and he was just roasting players of the past and present that he played with. Anyways, when I look at Amen Thompson in this comparison, could be way off, so forgive me, but he just gives me early Paul George vibes in his career. If you don't recall, Paul George came into the league from Fresno State. He was an elite defender, elite athlete, could shoot it semi-well. Not great though, could use improvement in solid ball handles. I just see a lot of this with Amen Thompson. This guy averages almost 20 points a game. He's got a good assist numbers as well and rebound numbers, and he can't shoot the ball. And one thing that NBA players, it seems like over the years, especially if they put the work in and they're good enough athletes and can figure it out. You can improve your jump shot because, I mean, what else do they have to do besides train and figure it out? So I still think this guy has some massive potential. I don't think I got any kind of crazy steal on this lot or anything. I think probably $20 was more than fair. I'd probably have a hard time selling him for that, but I think Rockets going into the playoffs, him being a rising player, maybe he has a good playoff run. There might be some potential for some of these cards to rise. Player to watch. In our second lot, we have a bunch of Manny Machado cards. Starting off, we got some of these toss-ins. So Fernando Tatis, toss-in. Slam Diego, pretty cool nickname with Trent Gresham, Will Myers, Fernando Tatis, and Manny Machado. A defensive Wizards of Tatis. This one was also thrown in as well. A Donruss Foundations at a 249. I had no Ohtani card of this at one point. I sold it way too early because Ohtani's market's crazy, but still I do think these cards are pretty cool looking. And then the cards that I actually bought themselves was this Topps at a 25. You can see it. This is from 2024 Transcendent Icons. Pretty good value. I got this lot for about $35 total, and I project that a lot of these cards are probably worth 15 to 20 each, so decent value. Maybe they go lower. I mean, I know Machado's market isn't anything crazy at this point. He is like a superstar, but he doesn't get quite as much recognition anymore because he's a bit of a vet. There's not as much hype around him. The shine's worn off a little bit, but I do think it was pretty good value. The Padres are always competing, so there's a chance that if they make a nice little run in the playoffs this year, this card could rise a little bit. But, you know, as long as the Dodgers are in your division, it's kind of an uphill battle. These Padres always do seem to compete with them. But anyways, I have this one. I have this cool patch from this camo jersey game use memorabilia, which I thought was pretty cool, at a 30 from Topps Definitive Collection. Really, really nice. And then I got this Bowman Chrome Sapphire, again at a 25. Just a really cool card. These Sapphire cards always sell really well. Everyone loves it. I think it's funny because in Panini they call it cracked ice, but in baseball we call it Sapphire. My mind went blank there for a second. But again, pretty cool lot. We'll see what happens with Machado this year. This third lot I have is a Travion Henderson lot. This one was actually a pretty crazy steal. It was an auction that ran around midnight, and it just said Travion Henderson cards as the description, so super vague. Usually when people list it like that, it's a bunch of base cards, so you don't get a bunch of views on it. But going into this lot, I got this Travion Henderson Futures rookie card in this nice case. This card is probably worth $1, so hilarious when people do that, but I'll always take it. This one was also in it Kyle Williams, so not just Travion Henderson a lot. Kyle Williams, he's actually was pretty solid this year. Really good deep threat. Maybe next year he steps into a bigger role. Just a fun player, very, very fast. Then the main cards that caught my eye was this orange at a 75 autograph. It's not in perfect shape. You probably can't tell that well, but some of the corners have some damage to it. So, I mean, this card usually sells for about $75. I doubt I even ask for that. It's just when the corners are dinged, a lot of the value comes off. It's still probably $30, $40 card, which is pretty good value. And then we have this team tandem material with Kyle Williams, which that's a nice little patch there. And then the Travion Henderson white, and this one is out of 99, so still pretty good value on the lot. This card, probably $20 card. It was selling for about $30 when it first released, but when cards come out and it's a new release, the prices are always super high when they start off and they slowly go down over time. So I doubt I get $35 for it. Maybe I listed at that, but most likely probably sells in that $15, $20, $25 range. And then my last lot was a bunch of the 2025 Phoenix Panini Phoenix cards. I believe there's 10 cards in this lot, so pretty good value. I think I got it for $15 to $18. I can't remember the exact price at this point, but starting it off, we have this Dak Prescott card. Either you love him or you hate him, but he is a very solid quarterback. Dallas is just somewhat of a dumpster fire every year with just how Jerry runs the organizations. I do think if Pickens comes back and Lamb kind of steps up again into another big year, big things could be on the horizon. Obviously, the big thing with the Cowboys is can they win in the playoffs? That has not been true for a long time now, but at some point they're going to be due. And this card is a lime green at a $225, and I actually already sold this card, so I'll talk a little bit more about it later. We have this Micah Parsons red winter. You can see little snowflakes on it. Pretty cool looking card. Former Cowboy, now a Packer. I think he's probably a top 3 guy at his position, depending on the year. Unfortunately, injuries kind of derailed him last year. However, I do think he bounces back. Packers could be a sneaky team for like the 5th consecutive year. Will they get over their hump? I don't know, but that was a fun team. We have this Keenan McCardell green winter, nice little color match with the Jaguars green. It is not numbered. I think the Micah Parsons one, I didn't say, is numbered at a $3.99. This one is not numbered. I did like Keenan McCardell in the past, a bit underrated, I think. He was actually one of my favorite guys growing up. I actually really liked the Jaguars. You know, as a kid, I was raised in Kansas City, so I was obviously a Chiefs fan. But when you're a kid, it seems like you always try to find a second team to be different from your friends. I picked the Jaguars at the time because I really liked Fred Taylor. Kind of latched onto them along with the Chiefs. Now, not so much a Jaguars fan, mostly just a Chiefs fan. Actually, entirely just a Chiefs fan. But good player. Mark Brunell, Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith and himself. That was a fun offense. Calvin Austin on the pink winter out of $2.99. This guy is little, but he sure is fast. Just a really good deep threat when the QB play is up to standards. Not a big name, but definitely a useful player in any wide receiver room. Oh boy, Garrett Wilson again. I talk about him in every video because I keep getting cards of him. This is a pink winter again at a $2.99. Do the right thing, Jets. Do the right thing. Get a quarterback or trade him. Jalen Walker, Blue Lava at a $3.25. First round pick from Georgia on the defensive side. That's a pretty common phrase in the last 10 years, if I was to say so myself. I don't know if he really popped a bunch. I didn't really watch the Falcons that much, but if I do know anything, Georgia defensive players in the NFL always seem to pan out. I would guess that he probably improves in year 2. DJ Giddens on the red. Hyper. I don't know if you can really tell if it's hyper or not at a $3.99. I actually kind of like him. I liked him when he was at K-State. Very solid running back. However, you got Jonathan Taylor in front of you. You're not going to get a bunch of playing time or opportunities. Maybe next year he eats a little bit into that, but my best bet is that he just remains a backup for the foreseeable future. Derek Harmon, pink winter out of $2.99 again. He's another first-round pick to the Steelers, not from Georgia, from Oregon. Honestly, not sure how his year turned out as well. It doesn't hurt to be learning behind TJ Watt and Cam Hayward, so probably bigger things on the horizon for him. Bucky Irving, this is a blue winter out of $1.99. I just love this guy. If you've seen in my other videos, I like to buy his cards. I think he just has an electric factor to him. sports card market at times because he's so fun to watch and people always want to get a little piece of him. However, his market's down right now because of injuries. The Buccaneers kind of taken a step back last year, but still one of my favorite players to watch when out there. Just such a fun player. Mr. Joe Cool himself. We got the bronze. It looks like a Pandora out of 125. Looking pretty calm, cool, and collected in the picture. Not really sure what else to say about this guy. Obviously has the makings of an all-time great, but can he hold up over the years with a team that just refuses to improve the offensive line? I don't know. Great player though. And then my man himself, Mr. Luther Burden. This one isn't out of 75. It's a green winter. This one's just going to go into my PC. One of my major PC guys, especially over the past year or so since I've been getting him. It's been a lot of him. And there will be plenty more of him to come in my PC collection pieces when I show. I went to Mizzou. He was everything that we needed in that NIL era starting. Number one wide receiver prospect at high school. He was just so great. I'm obviously purely biased on this, but I just think he's going to explode next year in the Amon Ra, St. Brown role from a Ben Johnson offense. He's just a producer. If you haven't watched him much, watch some of his tape. He is so electric. And if you try to tell me this guy isn't fun, you can't. He's just really good. Obviously biased, but love the guy. Alright, so that is all of my lots that I had. So we'll dive a little bit into some of the sales that I had. So the first sale was this Dak Prescott. I got these cards probably 3, 4, 5 days ago. Listed this card on it. It sold super quick. It was listed for $6.99, sold for $5. I was in it for about $2, so I made about $2. This guy just has a market. Again, this is another one that I mentioned in my last video as well. I listed it for $6.99, shipped. It was about $2 that I projected it, so I made about $4 or $5, just a quick, easy flip. Another one that I had listed in my previous video that went super fast. Maybe I listed it a little too low, maybe not. It just instantly sold. I listed it for $35, which was based on comps exactly where it was going around. Listed for $35, immediately got an offer for $28 and an offer for $30. I sent the guy an offer from $28 for $32, thinking, hey, if he doesn't accept it, I'll just take $30 on it. He accepted it about an hour later, so I was in about $15 on it. So I made about $13 or $14 on it. Puka Nakua, this one is sick. Disco, no huddle rookie, concourse level. I listed this probably about a month ago. I had 27 watches on it. I was getting lowball offers on it every day for like $15, $10. This card usually sells around 25 to 30. When you get that many watchers on it, there's that much interest on it. There's just not really any reason to entertain lowball offers. So I would just basically just decline them or send a counter offer of what I wanted. Finally got an offer for $26 on it, which is more than fair. As I said before, it sells for $25 to $30. So I made about $13 to $14 on it because I was in on it for about $10. Very cool card. I bet you if it graded it as a 10, it would be pretty well. I don't know if it will or not, but cool card. And my last one, this one was a little hard for me to sell because I've been in so hard on Camboard and kind of just wanted to wait it out. I was in about $60 on it. I had it listed for $99. I got an offer for $85 on it, which was probably about what it's worth right now. So it was just an offer that if I'm going to take some profit out of it, I might as well. I can always try to buy more cam board cards, which I'm sure I will because I've been buying them like crazy. But anyways, sold it for $85. Was in it for about $60. Ended up making about $15 on it. So I pretty much made up the lot that I bought, and I still have 3 other cards listed for it. So I should make a decent amount of the lot. I just really, really like Cam Ward. So getting a little hard to get rid of the card now, but I think it was worth it. So those are all of my sales for right now. Let me know what you think about the sales or some of these lots. If you like any of the players, if you think I was too high, too low on them, I'm always interested to think or to hear what other people think about it. But last but not least, we have my PC of Luther Burden. If you couldn't tell before, I'm a big fan. This is a big kahuna autograph card from the 2024 Bowman Chrome University set. If you don't know anything about this card, it is considered an SSP, which means that it is a super short print, which means that it doesn't have necessarily, it's not serial numbered, but the print run of it is very, very low relative to other cards. So very cool card. I love the wave. Love Luther Burden. And I will continue to collect them. And I got a bunch of his cards, so I will continue to share them in the future. So those are my lots, my sales, my PC. Next, I will get into some packaging of these cards. But again, I want to thank you all for watching. If you like these kinds of videos, continue to like and subscribe. Leave any comments. Let me know what you think of these cards or any content that you might want from me in the future. But without further ado, I will start off some packaging.